Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter, of course, at DFS Jerusalem, breaking down for you today's sort of 8-gamey slate. It was kind of sort of 8 games, but it was 9 games because we had an 8-game slate yesterday that really was a 7-game slate because the game got postponed to the night, but it wasn't on the DraftKings site. FanDuel played it. It's a bunch of bullshit. First things first, that game, my night last night hinged on that game. I loved the Detroit-Portland game, and it turned out to be a double overtime thriller. No doubt in my mind, a lot of us in the sweatshop were on that game, and if it had played last night when it was supposed to, we would have definitely got to the money. But that's DFS. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We roll on. We move with it. We're going to go ahead and, first things first, yeah, as you can see, I've got the garb on, and I just want to take a moment to congratulate the Green Bay Packers and all of their fans on a victory at home, Lambeau Field, against my New York Football Giants. They just played a better game. They came to play. They were ready to roll, and you're not going to beat Aaron Rodgers when you drop touchdown passes. So Odell. And I was rocking the beard for Odell. I was like, yo, let me rock the beard for Odell playoff game. And you a fucking snowflake, Odell. You snowflaked out on me. But the season's over. We're looking at the draft. We're going to get that together, whatever. So let's go ahead and jump into last night's 8-game slate. What we're going to do, of course, you know I did not release the core 4 because that is only for 6 games or more. 5 or less, we are stacking. And we had a chopped up slate on DraftKings, especially where we had 4 in the early, 4 in the late, and we had a couple of turbos, 2-3 game stuff in between. I played very lightly because today for me was really all about watching my Giants try to take that next step in the playoff towards a Super Bowl run, but it didn't happen. So let's go ahead and jump into the feature 4 players of the night. These are the 4 most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, on Twitter, some for good and some for bad reasons. We're going to start with the Who Dat, scoring all them points over there player tonight. That is going to go to Robert Covington. Man, this dude had an excellent game. 31% owned in the early slate, and this dude went off. 5.5K, went out and brought you back 43.25 DraftKings points. If you had him in your lineup, you were definitely one of those guys that were able to stay in the money with that pick. That was a really nice play there. Next, we're going to talk about how did I miss that play tonight. And this guy came from one of the later games on that same slate. This is Chris Paul, man. He was 12% owned. I didn't have him anywhere, and I did have shares of DeAndre Jordan, which was quite surprising because I never roster him without rostering Chris Paul first. He's usually the second. I like DeAndre Jordan, so I definitely like Chris Paul. And the Giannis Antetokounmpo is what got me there because that was supposed to be Chris Paul. We got the notification after the lineups locked at 12 that we were not going to see Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he was 30% owned, and he killed a lot of lineups and helped some other guys go to the top. So if you avoided that trap, you did pretty well. You did. So Chris Paul, man, 12% owned, 8.7K, really nice salary on him. Anytime Chris Paul is under 9K, he is definitely totally rosterable. And I don't know how did that get away from me today. How did I miss that? He went out and scored 59 DraftKings points. An excellent game we saw from Chris Paul. Now we're going to talk about the heat check player tonight. This is the guy who just fucking balled. And anytime you pay 11.7K for a guy when you're the highest priced guy on the slate, the ownership is above 25%. It takes a lot for him to give you back a solid return on that investment. And that's exactly what James Harden did, man. 78.25 DraftKings points for him. Like I said, 11.7K, the highest priced guy on the slate. He went out and he balled, and that's why tonight, James Harden, you are the heat check player of the night. I salute you because you were just a motherfucking snowflake, but you bounced back in a major way. Excellent game for the beard James Harden, recording his 10th, count him, 10th triple-double of the season. Now we're going to talk about that one motherfucker. Now, this is the motherfucker who ruined a lot of lineups. Now, a lot of people were in on him. He was at about 14% ownership. But you think in an up-tempo, up-pace game against the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis, you would think. When I heard that Giannis was out, I was like, fuck yeah, I have so much John Wall And you know he's one of my favorite players. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Kimba, Dame, John Wall. Like, I love John Wall. He's one of my favorite point guards in the league. But tonight, you a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass. How the fuck you gonna go out at 9.9K, damn near 10K in salary, and 14% owned? So we were in position with you to rise to the top, and you go out and you bring back 29 DraftKings points. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass. And I ain't gonna roster your ass again, John Wall. Till I catch you at home again in another one of them little juicy matchups. You know I fuck with you, John. You the homie. I follow you on Twitter. Joe Snowflake ass. Let's go in and jump into a recap of yesterday's games. We're going to break them all down really quick because we have a very small 3-game slate tomorrow. But before we jump into that, I've got to thank you all for the participation, for the well wishes, everything you've been doing for us here in the DFS Sweatshop. The new website has just launched. Passwords to the site should be sent out to everybody who has already subscribed, all of our paid subscribers. And I've got a special treat coming for everybody in the Facebook VIP that definitely want to be a part of the new website. I've got something for you. Stay tuned. It's going to be cool. Just relax. I got you. I brought you this far. We came this far together. I'm not going to do you dirty. You should know that by now, right? So, but before we talk about that, this is something I want to talk about, and it's the overall makeup of daily fantasy sports, right? I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about that because I don't think a lot of us understand exactly what we're up against when we play daily fantasy sports. Yeah, it's entertaining. We love it. It's fun. But let's not forget, it's about the money. It is about the money. And it's a microcosm for society. Now, I'm not going to go on a geopolitical rant or anything like that. Or maybe I will, just a little bit. It's my show. Fuck it. But this is what it is. In DFS, the totality of DFS, there are 10% of the people that play daily fantasy sports that have all the money. And these people, they put 50% of the money that is in DFS is their money. They are investing 50% of all the money in DFS is their money. So it's just like the lottery. The more tickets you buy, the better chance you have of winning. I don't have a problem with that. That's perfectly fine to me, right? The problem for me comes in when the same people that put in all the money, that 10% of guys that put in 50% of the money in DFS, when they are the people that we look to show us how to win their money. Does that make sense? Does that fucking make sense to you? Why the fuck would you listen to somebody who only interest is to make sure that you don't win their money? Because the guys at the top in that 10%, what they do is they pass the money back and forth to each other. Oh, this guy he just won $1 million. He won a millionaire maker, and then the other guy, he won a millionaire maker, and his brother just so happened to have the same lineup and won a millionaire maker. Like, that's what they fucking do. They just pass the money back and forth. And while they're shuffling the money at the top back and forth, we put our money in, and their big money sucks up our small money. And that's why what the DFS Sweatshop is doing is so important. Because I guarantee you, take a look at it. On Twitter, we're 2,500 strong. Here on YouTube, 3,300 strong. New subscribers, the guys that are really shouldering the load, the paid subscribers, 200 and some odd strong. The Facebook VIP, 600 some odd, 700 some odd strong. So, and some of us are in multiple roles in those. Some of us are a part of this and that. So together we're probably about 1,500 strong, right? So if you take all 1,500 of us, maybe 2,000 of us, and you put our bankrolls together, how much money do you think that we have in our accounts, our FanDuels, our DraftKings accounts? We've got enough together to take back some of that money that we've been given. As long as we listen to them, and they keep on throwing us off with bullshit, and we don't network together. As long as we don't come together and network together, somebody has to lead the charge to help us to network together and play solid plays and play core plays. I'm not saying play the same lineups, but I'm saying to stick to our core plays. If 2,000 of us have a core of plays that we really like, and we roster accordingly with good information, we don't go to them and get that bullshit. Because remember, the top 10% people, those are the ones who you listen to. Them the cats who you, and not only do you listen to them on YouTube for free, you pay them for them to tell you bullshit. Isn't that crazy? It doesn't make sense. Somebody had to step up and lead the charge for the little man. and tell us, hey, let's all get together. What we're doing in the DFS sweatshop is the equivalent of all of the poor people in America, all of the downtrodden people, all of the middle class people getting together, going to Washington and saying, hey, we don't like the way y'all running this shit. Fuck y'all. We taking this shit over. That's the equivalent of what we're doing in the sweatshop. That's why it's so important for you to be a part of this thing. That's why it's so important for you to be a part of this thing. Whether you're paying for a subscription, because people are going to do that regardless, because the content is going to be fire, especially once we drop the optimizer in the next couple weeks with our new spreadsheets and all that. Once we do all that, we're fine. We're going to do that. We're gonna give you your money's worth. You're getting it already. Actually, 50 cents a day, 2 punk ass quarters a day for what we're giving you. It's awesome. It's awesome. I would do it. So you've got to get in. Come on in, man. Join us in the sweatshop because we are the Robin Hoods of DFS. We're taking back that fucking money that they've been taking from us all this time. That's what we're doing. They're gonna hate me for what I'm saying, but I know you understand. I know you feel me. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick recap of last night's games. We're gonna start with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. This was a game that we did have stack potential in. We're going to start on the Philadelphia 76ers side. Robert Covington, man, we talked about him. He was the who that scoring on points over there player tonight. He had a really nice game. Started off kind of slow, but he ended up in 37 minutes having 15 points, 11 boards, 1 assist, and 5 steals. Now, this guy is a top flight defender when he locks in. He really is. And he does this in streaks. Remember that. So the very next time we see Robert Covington on the slate, take advantage of it. I'm just saying. I'm telling you. All right. Now he also went 1 for 5 from 3. So he could have had a much better game if he would have shot the 3-point shot better. He actually shot a total of 41% from the field, going 5 for 12. Pretty good game there. Ersan Ilyasova disappointed, but he didn't play a horrible game. He played 25 minutes and had 14 points, 7 boards to go with 2 assists and 1 block. Pretty decent game from him. We saw a nice game from New Orleans Noel for the first half, and then he just tailed off in the second. He finished with 8 points and 4 boards to go with 3 steals. Not a great game there from him. Dario Saric had a decent game, 18 and 5 to go with 1 steal and pretty good minutes for him at 29 minutes there. We didn't see a really good game from TJ McConnell. He had 4 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, and 2 steals, and we got shitted by Sergio Rodriguez. Why did this dude even come to work? Horrible game we saw from Sergio Rodriguez in his 11 minutes. He had 4 points and 3 assists. Not a great game for him at all. On the Brooklyn side, the only guy that we really, could have gotten behind was a play off the bench, man. And, we did see a decent game from Brook Lopez. He had 26 points and 2 rebounds to go with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. But Justin Hamilton played a really nice game. 16 points to go with 5 boards and 2 blocks in his 23 minutes. We saw a semi-decent game from Bojan Bogdanovic. Well, he played very well for his price point. 12 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Pretty good game we saw from Bojan in his 35 minutes. The next game we're going to talk about is the Washington Wizards going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. This game was in Milwaukee, but guess who was not in the game? Giannis Antetokounmpo did not play. Coach's decision. Or illness. He had an illness. They're all getting illnesses, so he just didn't play. We saw Mirza Teletovic get the start, and when I saw that, I had him already in a couple other lineups just as, a salary saver. So I was like, hell yeah, he's starting. And that dude ain't do shit, man. 30 minutes, he had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Not a good game there at all. Jabari Parker lit it all the way up. 28 points to go with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals with a block. Shot 9 for 21 from the field. That was pretty decent, and went 50% from 3, hitting 3 of the 6 3-point field goals that he took. We saw a really nice game from Greg Monroe, another double-double, 12 and 12 with 3 assists and 4 steals and a block. Pretty good game there. Mike Beasley had 18 and 1 in 15 minutes, but he did get hurt, so he was definitely on track to separate you if you did have him in your rosters. We didn't see a really nice game at all from John Henson, man. John Henson should be out of the rotation. This dude, Greg Monroe, should be starting by now. I mean, he started real hot in the beginning of the season, but he's tailed off dramatically. On the Washington Wizards side, we're talking about the snowflake of the night with his old snowflake-ass John Wall. This dude played 36 minutes, man, and had 16 points to go with 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Not a good game at all. He did shoot 46% from the field, but he went 0 for 3 from behind the arc. Not a great game there. Markieff Morris, somebody who we talked about in yesterday's show. We talked about him. He had 20 points to go with 10 boards, 1 assist, and 3 steals in his 37 minutes. Otto Porter, a decent game for him, 13 and 7 to go with 7 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And a really nice game we saw from Kelly Oubre Jr., man. In 25 minutes, he had 17 points to go with 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Brad Beal, in his 35 minutes, had 26 points to go with 4 assists, and 4 rebounds and 2 assists with a block. Pretty good game we saw from him. The next game is going to be the LA Clippers against the Miami Heat. Now, the Clippers were at home in this game, and whenever Chris Paul is at home, man, he's even that much better of a player, man. This dude is a beast. He's a monster. I love Chris Paul. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Paul, right? So we're gonna start on the Miami side. We saw Hassan Whiteside for 31 minutes. He had 15 and 13 to go with 2 blocks. Not a great game for him at his price point. Goran Dragic had a nice one, 24 and 5 to go with 5 assists and 1 steal. Tyler Johnson jumped off of the bench and had 12 points to go with 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block in his 32 minutes. Didn't see much from the Miami side of the of the game, but on the Clippers side, we saw a really nice game from from Chris Paul. That is the how did I miss that play tonight? Dude dished out 18 dimes, had 6 rebounds, 19 points to go with 2 steals. Really nice game there. DeAndre Jordan had 18 boards and 7 points. Not a great game from him. The play of this game was actually J.J. Redick, man. This dude had 25 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists in his 33 minutes, and he shot 4 for 8 from behind the arc. That's 50%. Really nice game there we saw from him. Raymond Felton got the start in this game. He had 7 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Pretty nice game we saw from him. We know that the coach's son sat out of this game. I believe he was stricken with an illness as well. Big Mo Buckets had 19 and 2 in 14 minutes to go with an assist and a block. Pretty good game there if you got him in your roster too. And Brandon Bass in his 20 minutes had 12 and 4 to go with 2 steals. The next game we're going to talk about is the Toronto Raptors at the Air Canada Center taking on the Houston Rockets. The first quarter was not a good one for James Harden, the Heat check player tonight, but he definitely righted the ship, and that's why he won the award for the evening. He had another triple-double, a big one with 40 points to go with 10 rebounds and 11 assists. A really nice play off the bench in this game was Eric Gordon. In his 33 minutes, he had 19 and 4 to go with 3 assists and 1 block. Pretty good game there. Trevor Ariza, 17 and 7. He led the team in minutes, playing 41 of them. He had 3 assists and 2 steals. Also shot 50% from the field and 50% from 3, 5 for 10. So we knocked down 5 threes. Good game we saw from Trevor Ariza. And the young lady who cashed pretty decently tonight, she was like, hey, she hit me up in the message. She was like, who do I start, Ariza or some other guy? And I was like, Ariza. Because my whole premise today was stacking. That's what it was about. It was about stacking. And she definitely got her stack on and had some really good lineups. Shout out to Teresa Washington. Go ahead, girl. Do your thing. Montrezl Harrell had a really good game. In his 25 minutes, he had 28 points to go with 5 boards and 1 block. Shot 12 for 13 from the field, 92%. Pretty good game there from him on the Toronto side. We didn't see Kyle Lowry that we saw the other night. I didn't think we were going to see him anyway. He did play 39 minutes, but only had 12 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and 4 steals. Not a horrible game, but he still snowflaked out as far as the DraftKings points were concerned. DeMar DeRozan, a nice game from him. He dropped 36 and had 6 rebounds and 5 assists to go with a block. In his 39 minutes, pretty good game there from him. Jonas Valanciunas started off hot, but he didn't play well at all. But the story of this game, the value play of this game, was DeMar Carroll. In 33 minutes, he had 26 points to go with 8 boards and 1 block. And see, games like this are what I hate from players like this. Because when a guy is kind of written off as, oh, this dude's a fucking scrub, he'll never get the shit right. When he was good a little bit before, and then he's just shitty for a while, and he has a game like this, and it gives you that glimmer of hope that maybe the next time out, I can roster him for 4K, and it's going to go down like it is. But I'm not buying it. He's going to have to give me a string of good games before I take a chance like that on DeMar Carroll. Now, we didn't see Siakam in this game. He didn't play due to the coach's decision, but we did see a start from Norman Powell. Something I've been waiting on, man. This dude's got a lot of potential and a lot of talent. He's a high riser and high energy guy. Didn't have a really great game out tonight because he only played 21 minutes, but he did get 10 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. Pretty good game from him. On the next game, we're going to talk about. Oh, I think my baby's up. Excuse me one moment. Gotta grab the baby. Daddy duty, baby. I got to do it. Got to do it. It's my youngest. It's my youngest. I got to do it. Okay. The next game we're gonna talk about is the Memphis Grizzlies at home. Here you go. You want to touch this? Here you go. Next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz. This is a game that I really didn't have too much exposure to. I really didn't like this game. It was kind of hard to figure out where I was going to get my stacks from. And as far as the one-offs goes, the only guys that I really liked were on the Memphis side, and that was Mike Conley as well as Marc Gasol. But going up against that Utah perimeter defense and that Utah front line, slow-paced game, two of the slowest-paced teams in the league, I really didn't want to have much to do with this game. But let's go ahead and jump into it. On the Memphis side, we saw a fairly decent game from Zebo, man. Off the bench, he had 13 and 11 to go with an assist and 3 steals and 2 blocks. Nice game there from Zach Randolph. Mike Conley had 19 and 9 assists to go with 2 rebounds and 1 steal. Pretty good game for him in his 34 minutes. And we saw a fairly decent game from Marc Gasol. Nothing special, nothing to write home about, especially on the fantasy front. He had 17 points and 4 rebounds to go with 1 assist and 3 steals. Tony Allen, really underwhelmed, man. After that performance he had the other night against the Golden State Warriors, I was looking for him to have a really decent game, especially going up against a bum like Rodney Hood. But 2 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists with 1 steal, and in 23 minutes, he didn't really have that great of a game. On the Utah side, we saw a really nice game from Gordon Hayward, man. 22 points to go with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Rudy Gobert grabbed 13 boards, but he only had 5 points. He had 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block also in that. Trey Lyles off of the bench had 11 and 2 to go with an assist and a steal. And George Hill, 15 and 4 to go with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Not a great game at his price point. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Phoenix Suns. Now, I stayed away from this game. I think the only guy that I rostered in this game was, who was it, baby? It was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was the only guy that I liked in this game. You want to talk? You want to say something? You want to tell people hello? You just woke up. Say, hey, this is Carly Simone. She's the DFS baby. We know her well. She's been on the show quite a few times, right? We're going to talk about the Cleveland side of the ball first. We're going to start with LeBron James. Not a great game from him. Didn't have to see that much of him. He did play 39 minutes, so we expected more when we look at the box score. But he had 28 points to go with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. And he was out there for a lot of minutes, but he wasn't really like balling, like trying hard. He just wasn't. He didn't really have to. Because Kevin Love, man, in his 35 minutes, he had a double-double, 25 and 10 rebounds to go with 1 assist with 1 block. Good game there from him. Tristan Thompson fell 1 bucket shy of that double-double bonus. He had 8 and 10 to go with an assist. Pretty good, pretty decent game at his price point. And Kyrie Irving, man, he just kind of sort of almost made value. 39 minutes for Kyrie, 27 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. And I did not think that this game would be, as close as it was down the stretch. But we saw some really nice games on the Phoenix side. And if you stack them, that was definitely a contrarian play that really helped you out. We're going to start with Eric Bledsoe, man. Had an awesome game. He played 38 minutes, led the team in those. And he had 31 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals to go with the block. Shot 12 for 18 from the field, 4 for 8 from behind the arc. Really nice game there from Eric Bledsoe. We saw another good game from Devin Booker. Actually, Devin Booker, led the team in minutes. He played 45 minutes. Dude didn't leave off of the court. 28 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Nice game from him. He also shot 50% from the field, but he was 2 of 7 from 3-point. If he gets that 3-point percentage up a little bit, it's a much better game. T.J. Warren finally scored a few buckets. He had 15 and 3 to go with 2 assists and 3 steals, with 7 for 9 from the field. Shot 77%. That was pretty good there. And he also hit 1 of 2 3-pointers. That was pretty decent. So maybe T.J. Warren is going to be trending up. If he can have this type of performance against a really good team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, maybe there's something to be said about him going forward. The next game we're going to talk about is the Portland Trail Blazers at home against the Detroit Pistons. I loved this game last night, and they didn't play because there were some snowflakes in Portland. Had a few snowflakes, so they didn't play. So the game gets postponed. They play tonight. The core 4 from yesterday had 2 players from this game. I loved Reggie Jackson, and I loved Mason Plumlee. Let's go see what they did, shall we? On the Detroit side, so a really nice game from Andre Drummond. 14 rebounds, 28 points. Really good game there. KCP had 26 and 4 to go with 2 assists and 4 steals. Drummond also had 4 steals as well to go with 2 blocks. So good games from those guys. Reggie Jackson, 31 points in his 46 minutes. And this game did go into double overtime. 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals was how Reggie Jackson finished up his stat line. Tobias Harris had 14 and 9 with 3 assists and 1 steal and a block off of the bench, and he did play 38 minutes. Markieff Morris had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. This was the game to stack if they played it last night. On the Portland side, let's check on the homie Miles Plumlee. Almost got a triple-double. 8 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. This dude is a peach flavor Draymond Green. Mason Plumlee is one of the best big men in the league at passing the ball, facilitating, getting guys involved. Take a look at him, man, because the price never goes up. This dude stays under 6K or right around that. This dude is a peach flavored Draymond, bro. This dude is awesome. I love Mason Plumlee. Al-Farouq Amino is back, and he had a really nice game. 16 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, 1 block, shot 7 for 10 from the field at 70%. Only hit 1 of his 3 3-pointers, so that was a really decent game we saw from him. Maurice Harkless is kind of taking a step back since Al-Farouq Amino has gotten back into the fold. We want to keep an eye out on that because Allen Crabbe was actually playing very well while we weren't seeing Dame Lillard for those few games. So he's been getting an increase in minutes. Allen Crabbe has got some minutes, bro. He played 42 tonight, and he had 30 points to go with 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Shot 12 for 15 from the field. That's 80%, and hit all 5 of his 3-pointers. That cat can shoot. He can't do much else, but Allen Crabbe can shoot. Dame Lillard, 20 and 9 to go with 5 assists. Pretty good game there. Not a Dame game, but CJ McCollum, 35 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Shot 16 for 28 from the field. That's about 57%. Hit 3 of 9 3-pointers, so he could have had a better game if he had a better 3-point percentage. Really nice game there. That was a double overtime thriller, and I really wish it was on last night's slate or the night before slate. Next game I'm going to talk about is the Sacramento Kings taking on the Golden State Warriors. Now, this game was a game that I really didn't want a piece of, actually. The only way I could have seen, like, jumping into this game was if I really thought that Boogie was going to have a Boogie game, and I just didn't see that. I just didn't see that coming. So we're going to start with Kevin Durant on the Golden State side. 36 minutes, he had 28 points to go with 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. An excellent game from KD there. Draymond Green almost had a triple-double, 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists to go with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Really good game there. Even Jaja got into the action. In his 22 minutes, he had 10 points and 7 boards to go with 2 assists. Really good game there. Steph Curry has continued his hot shooting. He shot 50% from the field, scoring 30 points, grabbing 4 boards, throwing 6 assists and 2 steals. Pretty good game there from Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, man, he's kind of taking a step back. He has been one of my favorite guys to roster on this team because he's always very cheap. And he always plays well. He always plays well, and he gets a blowout run whenever they're blowing the team out. But he just hasn't been playing as well as he was in the beginning of the season. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Decent, but not the game that you expect when you pay almost 7K for a player in a game you think is going to be a really high point total in. The Sacramento Kings side of the ball, Rudy Gay went nuts. 23 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals to go with 2 blocks. He is back. Rudy Gay is back and ready to roll. DeMarcus Cousins did double-double in his 29 minutes. He had 17 points and 10 rebounds to go with 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. For anybody else in the league, that's a decent game. Any other big, that's a decent game. But for DeMarcus Cousins, we're paying that much for, no, Boogie. We need more. We need you to do more. Garrett Temple and Darren Collison had 14 points apiece and a rebound apiece, but Temple had 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and Darren Collison had 2 assists and 3 steals with no rejections. Really good game we saw from Anthony Tolliver in his 31 minutes. He had 16 and 5 to go with 2 steals. That was a decent game there. He had a lot of court time, played 31 minutes because Boogie only played for 30 minutes. Usually Boogie is like a high usage guy and plays a lot, but he didn't play very much towards the end of the game. The next game we're going to get into, and the last game on the slate, is going to be the LA Lakers at home, Staples Center, taking on the Orlando Magic. Now, this was one of my favorite games to stack for the cheaper guys because the better guys on the Lakers side were not very high in price. I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell. I'm talking about Julius Randle, uh, uh, Brandon Ingram. There's a few guys who had really good games who just weren't very high in salary. We're going to start with Luol Deng, man, who really did not have a good game. 31 minutes, he had 11 points and 3 rebounds. That was it for him. Julius Randle almost doubled in his 34 minutes, 19 and 9, with 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And you've got to begin to question Coach Walton's like usage of players. He puts like strange collections of Lakers out on the floor at the same time. And when you see, you're like, yo, Julius Randle's strength is grabbing the board, getting out in transition, and running. So when you look on the other side, you see Orlando has like these slow old bigs like Ibaka and them just standing around, and you don't see Julius Randle. You're like, why is this man not utilizing one of the best weapons on the team? That is a big deal. When a guy like Julius Randle can grab a rebound and immediately push the pace and get into transition with wing guys like Sweet Lou Williams, who fumbles and bumbles and stumbles and knocks down shots, and Jordan Clarkson, who just started dunking on people out of nowhere. Like, what is Luke Walton doing when he's not? When this guy is not on the floor? It's strange to me. D'Angelo Russell, man, in 30 minutes had 17 and 8 to go with 7 assists and 3 steals to go with a block. And Swaggy P only saw 19 minutes, shot 1 for 7 from the field. That is 14%. So I think we saw the hot shooting streak of Swaggy P come to an end. Not to say he can't pick it back up, but he's going to have to show me a game or two before we jump into him and roster him with confidence. Brandon Ingram, we talked about him in 26 minutes. He has 17 points and 3 rebounds to go with 2 assists. Pretty good game there. Also, he did block a shot. Tariq Black, 7 and 3 in his 11 minutes. Not a very good game there. On the Orlando side, there was a couple landmines in this game that if you rostered them, man, it really wasn't a good look. Aaron Gordon was one of them. 24 minutes for him. He had 2 points and 6 boards to go with an assist. Serge Ibaka double-doubled in his 37 minutes. He had 19 and 10 to go with a steal and a block. And Bismack Biyombo got busy on him for 10 points and 11 boards to go with 2 assists. At his price point on a short slate like this, that was money. If you had him, that was money. Evan Fournier, not a great game there. 19 and 5 to go with 3 assists and 2 steals. Elfrid Payton underwhelmed in his 18 minutes. He didn't play very much. He had 9.6 boards, 4 assists, and 1 steal. And Nikolai Vucevic had a decent game at 19 points to go with 7 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. 26 minutes there for Nikolai Vucevic. Now that we've recapped last night's slate of games, let's go ahead and jump really quickly into the player pricing for tomorrow's 3-game slate. Tomorrow's monster 3-game slate that I'm really upset about. There should be more games than this, but it's all good because we've got 9 games coming up on Tuesday. So I'm really excited about that. Let's go ahead and jump into it. She looking like she knows what she's doing. Well, maybe she do know what she's doing. I don't know. And before you ask, I did not cut her hair like this. It'll be have like the same hairstyle. I have like a little mohawk. It just grows like this, and I like it. It's my baby. There we go. Let's jump into the player pricing for tomorrow. Now, okay, Russell Westbrook is without a doubt the highest I've ever seen him at 13K. I'm gonna give her a controller because this throws her off here. It's not even on. If she don't see the light, she gonna know. All right, at 13K, you've got Russell Westbrook here. But let's bring them all up so we can look at everybody at the same time. And remember, tomorrow, man, we are stacking, bro. Tomorrow's a stack slate. Anything less than 5 games or less, we're stacking. So we got Russell Westbrook at 13K, who ordinarily wouldn't be in play, but he is in play tomorrow because everybody's in play because we have enough money to roster everybody because it's only a 4-game slate, so we can play enough lineups to where we can roster everybody. Like the Sharks do. On a 15-game slate, the Sharks can roster everybody because they have the bankroll to cover every nook and cranny. That's why we attack them on these shorter slates by stacking. Westbrook, 13K in play. Anthony Davis is 11.1. I like him against the New York Knicks. Jimmy Butler is definitely in play at 9.3. That's a game I think I'm going to be stacking. The Oklahoma City and the Chicago game, as well as that New York and Oklahoma. I said Westbrook game. Like, he doesn't have teammates. Oklahoma City Thunder game. Kristaps Porzingis is a decent play for me here. I like Karl Anthony Towns at 8.9 going up against Dallas. He's definitely in play there. Carmelo Anthony, I'm going to give him another shot at 7.2. Zach LaVine, 6.7. That's a decent price for him, especially after the good game he had the other night out. Drew Holiday at 6.6 is in play. Andrew Wiggins, 6.5. Yes. Harrison Barnes is a no for me at 6.4. Let me tell you, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they bottle up. They really do. They bottle up small forwards. They do a really good job against the small forward position. So I do not like Harrison Barnes tomorrow against the. Excuse me. Yeah, you can't be messing up the set. I know this is your living room, but this is the DFS sweatshop. Put that back in here. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins, man, he's an exceptional defender. He does a really good job against that small forward position. So I don't think that I'll be taking a shot on on him tomorrow against that defense. Vic Oladipo is in play, especially in a stack 6.3. Normally, don't play people against Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler's been giving it up. He's been giving it up all year long. So I think Vic Oladipo and a Westbrook stack is definitely in play for us tomorrow. Steven Adams, 6K. The price is up on him a little bit, but I don't think that matters. Derrick Rose, I like him at 5.8. Gorgie Jang is in play at 5.7. Definitely DeGrom Williams, no, at 5.6. I learned my lesson about that the other night. Rick Rubio is a no for me. Dirk Nowitzki, yes. Enes Kanter, I like him. I do not like Wesley Matthews. Joakim Noah is not in play for me. Michael Carter Williams is the yes for me. I like him tomorrow. The price is 4.8. That's not bad at all. Rajon, no. Nikolai Mirotic at 4.7 is in play. Taj Gibson is in play. Buddy Hield, I like him at 4.4 going up against that New York perimeter defense. Doug McDermott, 4.2. Yes. Courtney Lee. Yeah, she likes Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee. JJ Barea, the minister restricted is still on him, so I don't know how we're going to do that. Terrence Jones. Now, Donatas Montejunas has stolen the shine again, like he did in Houston from Terrence Jones. So I don't think I'm going to be messing with him tomorrow. Andre Roberson is a yes for me at 3.9. I like him. Robin Lopez. See, the reason why I like Roberson is because he's probably going to be covering Jimmy Butler, which means Jimmy Butler is like a hella usage guy. So that means we're going to see a lot of Andre Roberson. And he's going to get those little steals every now and then, maybe a couple points, a few rebounds. At 3.9K, he's not going to be high owned. He can help you separate yourself from some guys in them GPPs. Robin Lopez is a no for me. Tyreke Evans, no. Seth Curry, Lil Brown. I like Lil Brown at 3.8. Brandon Jennings is a yes for me at 3.8. I like him too. Kyle O'Quinn, no. Dante Cunningham, no. Cole Aldridge, no. Dwight Powell, no. Justin Holiday, yes. Brother on brother, I like him tomorrow. Drew Holiday is going to be starting that point on the other side. Justin Holiday, I believe they're cousins or brothers. They look alike, something like that. I believe they're brothers. I do like Justin Holiday tomorrow. Andrew Bogut is a no for me. Domantas Sabonis, yes. I like Sabonis tomorrow. Shabazz Muhammad, yes, I like him coming back from injury. Jeremy Grant is a no. Jeremy Grant is a no. Damn, we got a lot of people playing each other. Those two are playing each other, Jeremy and Jerry. Kuzmuskas, yes, you can look at him as a salary saver at 3.1K. I like him. Devin Harris, no. Chris Dunn, no. Tyus Jones, no. Brandon Rush. Namia Bielita, I like him at 3K flat. I like him tomorrow. Adrian Payne, no. Let's find some 3K guys that we campaign. I like him tomorrow at 3K. I think he's going to see an increase in minutes. He only played like 20 minutes last time out. He was the backup point guard last year, his rookie year. Westbrook loves him, and they need a backup point guard. I like him tomorrow. Anthony Morrow is a decent play there. I like him. Alex Abrines, no. Once Campaign comes back, Morrow and Abrines, they're done. Don't worry about them. I like Cameron Payne tomorrow. Forget the rest of them. Joffrey Lavernier is a no for me. Bobby Portis, no. Nick Collison, no. Langston Galloway is a play I like at 3K. Ron Baker is also a play I like at 3K if you're trying to save some salary and separate yourself with a low-owned, cheap guy. Lance Thomas, no. Solomon Hill, yes, you can play him. Donatas Montejunas, right here, 3K. He is definitely in play tomorrow. He's going to be in a lot of lineups. I like him tomorrow. So, Hernan Gomez also is in play tomorrow for me, too. So, now that we've had a quick look through our player pricing, let us go ahead and jump into the point totals for tomorrow's slate. That way we have a good idea where we want to put our salary. Remember, this is a stack slate. So that's what we're doing. We're going to be stacking. So we just need to get the point totals, find the point totals and the team totals that we do like, and go ahead and exhaust our DraftKings salary on as many players as we can in the same games or in the same positions that we do like. So let's go ahead and start with the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the New York Knicks. This is a 215.5 point total, with the New York Knicks being the home favorite. They are giving up 4 points. Now, Carmelo Anthony didn't finish the last game out, had some kind of tweak with his shoulder. We want to be in tune with that throughout the day and make sure we're going to see Melo. If not, it does open up some value, and I know a lot of people are going to be jumping on it. But if he does play and he's fine, I do like him. I like Melo tomorrow. I also think we can look to Porzingis tomorrow. If I'm stacking New York, I can go four deep. I can go four deep. I like Derrick Rose. I like Porzingis. I like Carmelo, and I like one of the guys that's deep on the New York bench. Either we're talking Brandon Jennings, or we're talking about 3K all the way down to the Holiday Kid, or Ron Baker, or Kuzminskis. On the New Orleans side, now, I like a lot about this game. I like Monte Eunice for the cheap. Of course, I like Anthony Davis to go to New York and really go ham. He's a big city guy from Chicago. He used to play under the big city lights. He's good. I like him. I also like Holiday as well in this game. Buddy Hield is in play. This is a very stackable game, and I think a lot of people are going to flock to the Oklahoma City and Chicago game, and they're going to just overlook this New York Knicks and New Orleans Pelicans games. Truth be told, both teams are relatively bad, especially defensively. So I can see a lot of points being scored, a lot of rebounds. Not a ton of assists because with the exception of Holiday, because we know Derrick Rose is not an assist first point guard. He tries to get to the bucket, and that's cool. But I really think there's a lot to like in this game, and I think that people are going to gloss over it in favor of that Chicago and Oklahoma City game. Everybody's going to be on Westbrook tomorrow, and they should. They should. Even though he's 13K, I'm probably going to fade him. I'm going to fade him, probably. I'm going to fade him. Now, next game I'm going to talk about is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I just said, this is a 207.5 point total, with the Chicago Bulls being the home favorite. They are giving up 1.5 points, so it's virtually a pick'em game. If you're going to be stacking Oklahoma City Thunder, you're going to go with the usual suspects, right? Right? So you got to talk when I'm talking, but then when I give you the limelight and I tell you to say something, you don't want to say nothing. Whatever. Women. So you go Westbrook, Depot, Cantor, either Cantor or Adams, because I don't think with Depot you're going to have the salary to get both of them and still have a lineup you like. Unless you're going to go really low when it comes to the other 3K guys, and I don't think you have to do that. I don't think that's a really good strategy. So it's going to be hard to have the rest of your lineup be balanced if you are rostering Westbrook tomorrow. That's probably why I'm going to fade. On the Chicago side, you can go 4 deep on that. You can go Dwayne Wade. You can go the 2 bigs. I'm talking about Taj Gibson and Nikolai Mirotic for the cheap. Dougie McBuckets is in play for me, as well as, of course, Jimmy Butler. Not MKG, but Michael Carter Williams. There's a lot of spots you can go to in a Chicago game. On a 3-game slate, there's no limit to how many guys you can roster. I think 6 is the max from one team or from one game on DraftKings. So you can do whatever you want to do with this game. A lot of people are going to like it. I like it too, but I like the New Orleans and the New York game just a little bit more because I think the ownership those guys are going to be in the 20s sometime, like somewhere in the 20s. And the Oklahoma City and the Chicago guys are going to be in the 30s and the 60s. Like, I ain't surprised if Russell Westbrook is like 55% owned tomorrow. Last game on the slate is the Dallas Mavericks going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. This is the lowest point total on the slate. For that reason, a lot of folks will not want to be involved in it. There are some gems in here. We just have to find them, and I think they're in bench roles for both teams. The one starter in this game on both sides that I really, really like is going to be Zach LaVine, because I think Andrew Wiggins is not going to get bottled up but I don't think he's going to go ham because Harrison Barnes is a fairly good defender, as is Andrew Wiggins. So I mean, they both could have decent games, but I think there's other places that I can go. And if I go anywhere, it's going to be Zach LaVine, just because uh, his game I think is more tailored to score and to be involved in more of the offense when it comes to missed shots and getting that rebound and getting out in transition and just running and trying to put up his first 200 wins is going to be the model of this game because the point total is so low. On the Dallas Mavericks side. We talked about Lil Bro. We talked about Seth Curry coming off of the bench. I don't know how you feel about rostering a guy with a minutes limit. It's a soft limit, but it is a limit nonetheless. And we're talking about JJ Barea. I don't know how you feel about that. I think I like Dirk Nowitzki in this game too. You don't like Dirk Nowitzki? You like him? She like Dirk Nowitzki. Well, I like Dirk Nowitzki in this game. I think it's going to be a really solid play. So this has been your DFS Jerusalem and my lovely daughter, the young Miss Carly Simone. Say hey, Carly. Say hey. Say hey. Right? And this is yet another. This is where when you tip your waiter and you look out and you show love to the sweatshop. This is one of the people that benefits from that. So we thank you together. Now go check out the new website www.dfssweatshop.com. I know you're gonna love it. We've got a bunch of new stuff coming. It's gonna be a really dope place where you can go get all the information you need, build your lineups with optimizing software, everything. We're going to do it all. And you're going to be able to upload, download with a CSV file and upload to DraftKings or FanDuel, whichever you're playing. We're doing this baseball year round. This is the shit. Excuse me. We're going to do it. So, if you want to support the show, you definitely can. You can hit my personal PayPal at mauricesimmons95@gmail.com. You can click that box over there that says support the show. That's another way to do it. You can go ahead and copy some DFS Sweatshop swag, baby. The link is going to be at the bottom of the descriptions. You can also become a full-fledged member of the DFS. You can also become a full-fledged member of the DFS Sweatshop website by visiting our website and signing up. This has been your DFS Jerusalem and the Carly Simone Simmons. The one thing that we want you to do anytime you're in the sweatshop is keep it what? Keep it what? 300.